And who's hurt the most by the financial corruption of the communist deep state? Well, the young, to start with, who have their futures killed off because of that deep state communist greed. Patriots, who want their country back and whose money is being stolen from them. And the largest up-and-coming minority group, Hispanics, who too often have had to settle for lower middle class because the corruption destroys their ability to move into the middle class because the middle class is shrinking. The response by the communist elites in D.C. to President Trump's dismantling of their corruption system is historic, to say the least. And in answer to their stupid question, yeah, this is what we voted for. Donald Trump is emerging as the transformative power in U.S. politics, perhaps the most transformative, certainly since FDR. And to the point, it's FDR's system that Trump is largely in the process of dismantling. Certainly all of the accoutrements that have grown up along beside it, but he's reaching back even deeper into U.S. history and the corruption that has arisen around government. He's going back to 1913 with plans to simply eliminate the federal income tax. When Congress approved the income tax on American workers, it slashed tariffs from 40% to 26%, shifting much of that burden of government programs to us, the citizens. Back then, the tax code was 400 pages. Today, it's 70,000. Back then, the income tax affected less than 3% of the population and actually didn't really raise that much money for D.C. Today, the income tax is Washington's, get this, number one source of revenue, and ending it will end access to much of the money being stolen from us. The first part of Trump's plan is to ditch income tax for anyone making less than $150,000 a year, with the eventual plan to kill the federal income tax altogether. What Trump sees now so very clearly that he did not really see that much in his first term is the extent of the government, or how deep the deep state is, or the swamp. Once lawmakers understood they had what amounts to an unlimited ATM machine with your tax money, well, they've gone hog wild. The corruption is so bad, the waste and the fraud has become just expected. It's just what comes along with life. We've all lived under this financial crippling tyranny for so long now that we don't seriously know what financial freedom looks like. The Democrats and those Republicans who likewise have profited from an unjust system meant to enrich themselves personally and politically, well, now they're going nuts. They see Trump strangling their golden goose, so the lies and the fake polls and their allied communist judges are now shifting into high gear to try and stop all of this because, and here's the point, they see all that money as their money, not yours. When they held up those silly little paddles during Trump's speech, Musk steals, they meant from them. They all go to D.C. with not that much money, and they leave D.C. as multi-zillionaires. You know, that's your money. That's my money. And who's hurt the most by the financial corruption of the communist deep state? Well, the young, to start with, who have their futures killed off because of that deep state communist greed. Patriots, who want their country back and whose money is being stolen from them. And the largest up-and-coming minority group, Hispanics, who too often have had to settle for lower middle class because the corruption destroys their ability to move into the middle class because the middle class is shrinking. Trump is causing Americans to wake up and see what we have just come to accept as normal does not have to be this way. So look at your pay stubs and see just how much you pay into the corruption under the guise of the federal income tax. A huge chunk of that goes to finance all this corruption, the status quo. No single person in D.C. should be getting rich off U.S. taxpayers. But now, it's just accepted. So Trump is saying, why? That should not be happening. And he's right. So he's publicly announced he wants $2 trillion chopped out of the nearly $7 trillion budget by, drumroll please, July 4th, 2026, the 250th anniversary of the nation's birth. So look at your pay stub again and see how much money you'd have in your pocket if the federal income tax just goes away. First for those making under 150,000, then for everyone. So the DC communists are ticked off as hell because that's their ticket for enriching themselves and their families and their friends and their globalist causes. And they have fashioned it into a well-oiled machine. Trump is taking a sledgehammer to that machine, and he's determined to burn all that corruption down, burn it all down, and irrevocably change America forever. No wonder they tried to kill him twice. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, yeehaw! I'm Gary Michael Voris. God love you.